Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with the rice. This is the long grain rice, but this is, when you see a sea like that, you know it's a Serbian product. I don't know if they make it here or what's going on. But say you want to do a full cup. I'm only going to do a half. I got a little pot because we're not doing a lot. And I got a little rock out of there. You throw it in there, and you do double the water, maybe 2.5 times if you like. So I've got one, and I'm gonna put another one for good measure. Now, I throw it in here, and this thing heats up like really quick. I don't know how he does it, but it's gonna start boiling. Meanwhile, what I prepare here is, and you can do of your choice. I like to use a little bit of bacon. Now the Chinese call that pork fried rice when you put little pieces of bacon like this. They usually use roast pork that they chop into little pieces. You can use pork belly if you like. And you just slice it into little pieces. Hope you can see this. Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. So it's like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. And then you half it. Because you want small pieces just like the Chinese do it. So you cut that in half. And I got a little piece of sausage. It's not that big. I like to slice it long ways like this. If you can see that. And then I slice it sideways in strips, and then that way I could chop it in half and get little squares. So, and you know, you can add here, like if you have a pork chop left over, or chicken is good, you know, that you already cooked. The chicken would have to be cooked like a leg quarter, or you roast it. And then you take it and you go ahead and create it like that. So I like to keep this separate. The bacon's got to go first in the frying pan when you're going to go fry it. Meanwhile, I get a clove of garlic. And I get that ready. Well, if you don't let it fall on the floor, it'll be all right. See? So now, you take that and you chop it into tiny little pieces like that. And then you cross cut it. And you get little beaten up chunks. You can also beat it up in one of those things that we used to have. The mortar type of a thing. So, later on in the frying pan, the bacon's going to go first. Then after the bacon, we're going to put the garlic. And then at the end is the sausage, because the sausage usually is smoked and it doesn't need to cook long. And for that reason, you put that in last. You just want to brown it real lightly. I mean, you don't want to, you know, you're not really frying it. The bacon you want to brown, but you don't want it crispy unless you like it crispy. Then, you know, it's your call. And see, I chopped that like that. Those are two different kinds of sausage. You guys got that at Tony's over there, so you can use either one. Now we just got to wait for this to boil up. And I usually set the timer, but because the camera's on right now, I'm going to shut it off. And that's the first part of it. When I shut the camera off, this is going to cook for about 10 minutes to 12 minutes. It's going to boil out. You got to stir it occasionally to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan, especially if you got it in high heat. If you put it on lower heat, you still, as long as it's boiling, but it's on lower heat, you can do about 12 minutes and then cover it and let it sit for another 6-7 minutes while you're frying this up. that you got to cover it, especially if you got a tight cover, and then it'll steam it up. So the rice will be nice and flaky and ready to go ahead with it. See, this is already boiling. But once it starts boiling, I need 10 minutes, like I said. So I don't have a perfect cover for that sucker. So I'm going to improvise. And the way I do that is I grab one of these suckers, lay that on top, and it's like perfect fit. So it's going to be cool. Every now and then I just move it to the side and stir it a little. And while he's doing that, just imagine me about every 3 or 4 minutes doing a quick stir so it doesn't stick. And I'll shut this off, send you that video, and then we'll go to the next stage.